Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, aside from, of course, the most recent stock market drop pretty much across the board, and especially with Tesla as well, aside from all of that, we actually did have a pretty large amount of positive news released around Tesla today. And so a lot of this, at least in this video, what we'll be discussing is going to be involving China and the Shanghai Gigafactory. That includes Model 3 sales numbers for August, and of course, some really interesting news regarding construction of Phase 2 for the Shanghai Gigafactory, which relates to the Model Y. So, like I said, we have seen pretty much a huge crash for Tesla today. So this news likely went under the radar for a lot of people. On a normal market day, I think these news pieces alone would actually have a positive influence on the stock price. However, since we've had this sell-off given the fact of the $5 billion share offering, the pullback after the stock split, you have the lack of S&P 500 announcement on Friday, and of course Tuesday as well, with people having high expectations with that. And then of course, it was recently announced today that Tesla has fulfilled its $5 billion share offering, and they sold the $5 billion in shares on September 4th. So those shares are now sold. And of course, that led to kind of like a snowball effect in combination with all of these market events where some people are actually just selling off because they see the stock price going down and they just cannot stomach the losses. So we've seen a lot of different things in combination lead to this big crash for Tesla today. With all of these things being factored together, it did play a big role in like that snowball effect that we were talking about. And full disclosure for those that are new to the channel, I'm actually someone that bought Tesla stock today. I didn't panic sell, still really bullish long term. Nothing at all has changed in terms of my perspective on Tesla, other than the fact that I realize it is now on a notable discount. And of course, I'm still up pretty positive for the year so far as well at plus 42.76%. I still have like $33,370 in gains that are keeping my portfolio afloat. Some of that is from Tesla, some of that is from Apple stock gains, some of that is from Microsoft stock gains, but I'm still pretty far up. But as you can see, the portfolio did take a significant drop because I recently put a lot of money into Tesla stock and transferred that from some of my other positions. I basically just wanted to preface this video by emphasizing, although we did see a crash for Tesla stock today, there were a lot of news pieces that probably went under the radar for a lot of investors. So my goal of this video is to address these news pieces and talk about the benefits of them, and of course explain my perspective in a little bit more detail after we check out these articles. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and get into the first article for today. And as always, if you all do enjoy these Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And this one is going to be all about the Tesla Model 3 sales in China in August of 2020. So let's go ahead and check this out, and then I'll expand on it a little bit more. So as you can see, this is an article from Teslarati and author Joey Klinder, and it states Tesla Model 3 sales in China spiked 7% in August. Just addressing some of the key points from this article that I think are just the really important parts to focus on, it does state that the sales in China spiked 7% in August compared to the previous month of July, and that in August they sold 11,811 Model 3s compared to 11,014 Model 3s in July. And just a few other key points to mention from this article, it does state that Tesla's sales figures through July accounted for more than 13% of the total Chinese market share. And just keep in mind that with this, we are exclusively talking about the Model 3, one model itself, not all of the models combined for Tesla. It's not just Tesla taking up 13% of the market share. This is one model of a Tesla taking up 13% of the market share. And I really want to just reiterate that point right there, because as we know, there's like hundreds of EV companies in China starting up right now. Some are getting more popular like NIO and XPeng. So there's a lot of EV companies in China compared to the US, where Tesla is just really dominant. So they have a lot of competition in China, and for the Model 3 alone taking up 13% of the total Chinese EV market share, that's really a big deal. And like I said, this news piece notes this increase in sales for August compared to July, and just keep in mind that Tesla is just trying to meet demand demand right now. That's all they're trying to do, is just ramp up production so they can meet demand. So the demand is there, we're seeing an increase in sales, and then we're also seeing a notable market share just for one Tesla model alone. We're not talking about everything under the Tesla umbrella just yet. We're just discussing the Model 3. So I'm actually really excited to see what happens with the Model Y and how much market share it could take up as Tesla starts to ramp up production for that. Another important aspect regarding just the general EV transition right now is that it states, according to Wall Street Journal, new energy vehicle sales have surged 43.7% in August compared to August of 2019, and that Tesla has sold almost 71,000 Model 3 sedans in China just in 2020 alone. So those are just a few important key parts of that article that I really wanted to emphasize, because of course with that increase from August of 2020 compared to August of 2019, of course that doesn't just address Tesla, but it does note this inevitable energy transition from ICE vehicles to electric vehicles. And so like I said, this is inevitable, and Tesla has that advantage of starting as an EV company and being at the forefront of the EV business, and they're the top dog right now. They're scaling their business, they're building more gigafactories, they're ramping up production, so they are trying to be this dominant company in what will be the new major automotive business after this transition has some time to occur. But we are seeing a lot of progress in China right now. China is pretty much ahead of the game when it comes to EVs compared to pretty much everywhere else in the world. Like I said, you have the most EV startups in China, and that's where we're really seeing the most competition for the electric vehicle market right now. So it's really impressive to see the Model 3 taking up 13%, and then also us seeing an increase in sales from July to August. So that's definitely a big deal, and once again, it is emphasizing how they're ramping up production and meeting demand, which is very important. On top of this news piece, speaking of the Model Y, which is something that I said could possibly take up a large amount of market share as well once we start seeing production being ramped up in the Shanghai Gigafactory, this is a topic that actually had a news piece recently as well. So I think the Model Y has a lot of potential. Even Elon Musk in the past has stated that the Model Y will likely sell more than the Model 3 will. And we've already seen the Model 3 making big moves, tons of sales, everyone across the world seems to love it, and it's one of the best EVs on the market right now, no doubt. So just with the idea and the potential of the Model Y being bigger than the Model 3, then this is where it really starts to gather my interest, especially when it involves this Shanghai Gigafactory. And so this is another article from Teslarati and author Simon Alvarez, and this one is all about the Model Y in China, in which the article title states, Tesla Model Y production in China to begin as early as November, according to a report. So this article actually links a tweet by Moneyball, or user D. Karak, and this tweet states, Tesla Gigafactory 3 second phase main structures completed, electromechanical works and commissioning started, expected to be completed by October and November end respectively. China media citing contractor. Earlier, Tesla said Model Y production to start in 21 quarter 1. So as you can see from this image here, a lot of progress happening with this Gigafactory. One more final important piece of this article does mention a quote by Qui Dongshu, which is a Secretary General of the China Passenger Car Association, and this quote states, the annual output of its Shanghai plant in the first phase has reached 150,000 units. After the second phase opens, it is expected to double output to 300,000 units, which will further reduce costs and enhance competitiveness in the Chinese market. So this is absolutely huge. We are talking about 300,000 vehicles being produced per year after phase 2 is completed. So then we'll be having the Model Y ramping up production, and then also the Model 3 being produced at a massive scale as well. And I don't think people understand how important this news piece is. The Shanghai Gigafactory in China is actually dominating expectations. We're talking about production for the Model Y being ramped up in November when it was expected sometime early in quarter 1 of 2021. So they're beating expectations, and like I've said in previous videos, at this point, just given the fact of how much Tesla Shanghai has accomplished, it just makes sense, especially with this $5 billion share offering recently, for them to try to create another Gigafactory in China, because as we know, they are pretty much fast faster than any other place in the world when it comes to getting things expedited, ramping up production, and making sure that that production is high quality. So the Shanghai Gigafactory, as you all know, I'm a huge fan of because it continues to impress me in terms of just maximizing efficiency, wasting no time whatsoever, and just constructing things in a fast manner like never seen before. But anyways, I just wanted to mention some of these news pieces because I think it's really important and relevant to Tesla stock, especially at a time where we are seeing some discounts happening with the share price. And paying attention to these news pieces are very valuable for investors that are taking out their telescope and looking far into the future for Tesla, because as we know, if 300,000 vehicles are produced every year out of Shanghai, and if that's a conservative estimate, just think about the data lead that would give Tesla. That's 300,000 more people driving Teslas, gathering data, helping train that neural net for the full self-driving technology, and that's just on top of all of the other production happening across the world right now, especially with the Fremont factory with the Gigapress being installed. So like I said, this is all about taking out that telescope, inferring from this information, and looking at what that could lead to in the future. And so as we know, investors like to factor things in early, so this gives us a chance to buy Tesla stock if we want to when it is at a discount right now, or just sometime in the future when we have cash on the sidelines, whereas a lot of potential investors won't be factoring this in until they see like some crazy delivery numbers or some impressive announcement of something about the Model Y ramping up production, and then they'll decide to buy at that point. Whereas right now we have information that we can infer on in which these things are pretty much inevitable, so we can actually take advantage of these discounts, take advantage of the share price while we have information that others won't react to until the result is announced later on. So that's why I do these videos. I think it's important to keep up with the stock regardless, but please make sure to smash that like button if you all enjoyed this video, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 if you sign up with my link and deposit $100 into your account. Keep in mind you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stocks, so it's basically just nice passive income, free stocks. But hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.